Thank you very much to my client who is as much into AI as I am. This video is a homage to AI as well as a solution to all the damp issues that the client is facing and many other people. Damp.ai and damp.ai/detect are made by AI and help solve a lot of the problems. I don't make any money through it. I have a link through to my website, but it's not as though I do any more surveys because of it. I'm just trying to solve as many problems as possible to help the world through AI. I've increased my productivity by at least 100% by using AI, probably factors more. And I hope the world can learn a few things from each other through AI. It's a tool that is there to help. Have a look at the survey now. There's condensation on the windows this morning. What do you think that came from? Because were you cooking here?
No.
You're not really cooking, but you're obviously having showers and you're...
Yeah, I think it was maybe, I don't know, temperature drop, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But there was, I mean, I took a photo actually, so I could send it to you.
Okay, that would be useful. Thanks. I mean, the thing is that all the dampness you're seeing here at the moment is going to, by and large, come from your previous occupiers because you've only been here for a couple of days. So, but a property like this will have risks, and you probably saw that it's had damp treatment outside. I'll show you.
Okay, yeah.
I don't meter readings here, which is behind, presumably, the television or something. It's not. No. It just goes to about just shy of 999 there, which is the highest damp. But if we look here, there was condensation. You can see condensation, dribble marks, and mould. These are single glaze.
Yeah.
And actually, these shutters will slow down the flow of heat, causing increased relative humidity by the cold glass. So that's why you're getting it there. These shutters actually make it worse.
Okay.
And obviously you've got condensation dribble marks there.
Yeah.
Condensation dribble marks there. But if you have penetrating damp, you'd have brown stains. As the water comes through the brick, it brings the colour from the pigmentation through with it, and you get these very distinctive brown stains, and you don't have that.
Okay.
So that's good news.
But
there's no ventilation out of there, and a rental property, they're just going to steam the place up without opening the windows. No one worries themselves in a rental property about vapour. But so a simple thing is just put ducting. You can either do it, you can sort of hide it slightly behind these cupboards. Are you going to change the kitchen?
Yeah, it's all being ripped out.
Well, it's part of
We're going into the chimney breast actually.
Oh, okay.
But
And then, better just check with upstairs, just in case. I should imagine there's party wall agreement.
Yeah, we're fixing that actually. Yeah,
are you part of a share freeholder?
Share freehold, yeah, and we're doing the party wall agreement next door as well.
So this is the main bathroom extractor fan, and you can see there's more or less no airflow at all. These fans that slowly opens. I don't encourage people to use them. They take forever. By which time you might have had your shower and turned the fan off. See how long it ran for a few minutes. Well, sorry, probably 3 or 4 seconds before I opened it. I'm not quite sure the purpose behind it, but presumably there's one. Here we go. You might have had your shower and be off by now. See how fast it is. And they block up easily. It's not going fast enough. At 4.4 litres a second, it should be 15. I'm going to turn it off and see how long it lasts for. Turn the light off. Should last for half an hour, but we'll see. So this is the vent out, so way to the back of the building, and it's through here, and you can see it's got this plastic stuff, so that's why it's not working very well. It should be rigid ducting. So it turned off after 2 minutes. I didn't wait the whole time. So I'm going to increase the timer. It's quite easy to do. Just turn it according to the sign, but it's clockwise normally. I'm going to take this whole thing out and just see how fast it is without the ducting. So this is without the ducting, but before I've cleaned it up. So about 12 litres a second. The whole thing is very dirty, so you'll see how much change I can make by cleaning it. So that's after being cleaned out. It's running about 18, 17.5, something like that. So it's marginally better, but at least it's better. So it's going about 5.7, which is obviously significant, about 50% better. So here's the amount of dust that will come out of one of these fans if you're not cleaning it up regularly. You always want the timer to be the maximum, which typically is 30 minutes, and it's in this case it's anti-clockwise. It's normally clockwise. That's now the max there. Clockwise that way. Anti-clockwise that way. Also excess ducting, which I will reduce by cutting it here. So I've cleaned up the fan, taken all the grime and dirt out, extended it, taken out some excess ducting, and now we're just looking to see how effective it is. Notice this particular type of fan doesn't open for ages. If you have a plumber that plumbs at low temperatures like mine does, you'll find that you'll be in and out of the shower before the thing opens, and if you're an occupier that never closes the bathroom door, you'll get virtually no extractor fan benefit from this fan. We've got more time to talk. I'll just show you a couple of things. One is the amount I took. It wasn't a huge amount I took out. But each one of these creases, you can see as it contracts, it makes the hole much smaller, and if it goes around corners you get a lot of eddies formed that slows down the flow of air. So you want to have rigid ducting and all the way out, and it's actually quite a long way to the outside. It's what we can count it: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other fan is I think probably add another 2 or 3 meters. This one's actually stopped opening, so I'm going to take the spring off. At least it will work. So this one was taking so long that I've decided to just take it off. It's of no real benefit. And we're getting a bit more anyway. Now it's cleaned up without the blockage. So there's a bit of mould despite it being double glazed. That shows that excess vapour is a key issue. It's dry lines, so you won't be able to tell if the walls are damp, but looking on the outside they look fine. It's obviously an extension. You're going to get a zone there that's at risk, but you won't see it on the inside. Especially as it's hidden by the radiator. These cupboards will be potentially at risk because they're external walls, so think about some insulation there. Images from around the property as I'm streaming this. But anyway, so what you want to do is you need to get your ventilation working effectively. At the moment, you've got a long ducting from the bathroom extractor fans to the ducting. You can see the ducting on the outside. There's 2 outlets there. I tested the fans in and out. They seem to be going out fully, so that's a positive. Yeah. But It's the flexible ducting type, and you really should have rigid ducting, especially when it's as long as that. However, you can overcome that by using continuous flow extractor fans. So they draw air at about 5 litres a second, and because it's blowing a bit, instead of 15 litres a second, because it's not blowing quite as fast, the ridges have less of friction effect, but they still have some effect.
Yeah.
So you want to think about a continuous flow extractor fan.
And that can be done without the ducting, or
That you could potentially do it without changing the ducting, but what I'm saying is, if you're still finding it's not working, you'll know from looking at the monitors and the data loggers. So you want to be keeping the internal dew point as measured on your data log. If I show you this is the dew point there, and it's a measure of the amount of vapor in air expressed as a degree centigrade. You want to always keep that dew point below the outside temperature at all times.
Okay.
And then you won't have a risk of condensation and mold. And then you want to be thinking about drying clothes, so always use a dehumidifier, a 20 litre plus dehumidifier, or have a externally ducted vented dryer, or you can have some of the modern condenser dryers work okay. They don't always work brilliantly. Sometimes they release a lot of vapor. So you want to, this kitchen, you want to go through the chimney breast, but make sure that upstairs hasn't either taken the chimney breast away or sealed it off for whatever reason, or indeed using it for their own outlet, for their own bathroom. I mean, it's fine as long as you're using you'll have at least 2 flues in here. So if you're going through another flue, that's fine. But also think about putting the flue up, a metal flue inside it, liner. So you might need a party. You'll need an agreement with upstairs, so you might need a party wall agreement.
Yeah, we're getting them in
next
both.
So those, and also, sorry, back to the bathroom. Keep the door closed. Make sure the fan's on. I've extended the timer to 30 minutes.
Okay, great.
There was a lot of dust that came out of that. So you really should be looking to opening it up and just taking the dust out once a year or something like that.
Probably never been done.
I doubt it's ever been done. People will change it. I mean, the fans themselves don't particularly break down. I've come across ones that are 15, 20 years old, and so once you take the dust out, they work. But you also have to remember with tenants, there's a lot of mould around, and with tenants, they are more concerned about preserving heat and think about vapour and mould as being a landlord's problem, whereas actually all they need to do is open the window and do these things, and they would solve a lot of their own problems. But so those are the key things. I'll add in the link to damp.ai/detect, where you can upload the data loggers that I made with AI. And you'll get a lot of information from damp.ai, which again is, I have a link to it on each one of the reports. So it's taking all the data from the report into the AI and then sending it up. So you can talk about the reports through the AI. And I think those are the key things, but there's nothing majorly wrong with the property. Nothing that can't be explained by looking at the ventilation issue and the risks, especially with the previous occupiers.
Yeah, and so that sounds good. And then I guess like my main concern is just the things we can't change, or just like the fundamentals of having like a lower ground.
Well, so the key thing is keep that dew point below. It's called Dew's law. Keep the dew point always below the outside temperature, and if you're monitoring it, you'll know. And if you do that, you won't have a problem. I mean, a simple way of knowing if there's a problem, and that's keeping a mirror outside, bringing it inside, and seeing whether you get condensation on the mirror. It's a very simple.
And it's not. So it's, and when it was converted, I mean, there must have been things done to prevent, like, obviously, like,
They might have damp proof. Well, essentially, dry lining is a form of damp proofing.
yeah,
I mean, I think it's fine. I think nowadays you would insulate it, and they probably haven't insulated it. And you could think about that. I can't really comment about the insulation, but it's relatively expensive to do it.
yeah,
I think downstairs is a solid floor, in which case
Yeah,
you can use a PIR insulation. But I mean, we'll have a look. But it means ripping the. Well, I mean, I can. Funnily enough, I'm doing it at the moment in my own place, and I am replacing all of it. So I meant to also say that you've always got a risk here. So the water appears to be drained away, and it looks like it's sealed off correctly, and it's dry lined. So I don't think that you've got issues with it, but
yeah,
you've got a risk of penetrating damp through
Yeah.
there. The floor is solid, which means that you don't have a risk of rot if you have what's called interstitial condensation, where condensation forms within the insulation, between the insulation and the external wall.
Yeah,
Because as
yeah.
soon as you insulate the wall, you're changing the temperature of the internal wall. So any moisture that has come into the wall, such as wind or sun blown air,
yeah,
wind blown vapor anyway, can if the wind blown vapor comes into the wall and it meets a cold wall inside, because you've got insulation, it's no longer warm, you can get what's called interstitial condensation, which forms behind the PIR, between the wall and the PIR. But since it's just going to a solid floor, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
There is an argument for having a bit of vapor permeable material at the base of the wall to allow it to dry out, but it's not going to cause major structural
yeah,
issues that you would have in a property with timber joists. It's a problem I have myself at the moment.
yeah, yeah,
The three things to know about dehumidifiers is one, you're getting rid of vapor, and it's the biggest cause of dampness in properties. About 85% of all damp issues are caused by excess vapor. Second one is that all the energy comes in as heat, or comes out as heat, plus a 50% bonus, because as you're going from the vapor to the liquid phase, you release energy. So it's a bit like air source heat pump. You release energy, so you get 50% bonus. In the opposite way to a fridge, where you're cooling it down, you're warming it up. And the third way is by reduce the humidity at the same temperature, you're going to feel warmer. Or put it another way, you don't need to turn the thermostat up as much.
yeah.
So you can reduce the energy consumption with a dehumidifier. The other thing is that you should use a dehumidifier whenever going away for any length of time, and have it dripping into
like a hose
sink,
or
but have it dripping away.
Yeah,
So safe. If you do that, you'll save a lot of money,
yeah,
and stop the property from being damp
yeah,
and mouldy.
yeah, yeah,
The reason why lower ground floor properties have a higher risk is people are less likely to open windows up because there's a security risk.
yeah,
The rainwater is always going to fall to the bottom of the property.
yeah,
You're going to get less sunlight and less wind to dry it away, so you're going to get the water in touch with it. And so what happens is and gravity pulls water down, so the base of the wall is going to be damper than further up, which is often why people call it rising damp, but it's not actually rising damp in a majority of cases. And a damp wall is a poor insulator, so it increases the risk of condensation because you get that heat loss. And those are the key reasons why lower ground floor properties. But the way around it is to have a continuous flow bathroom extractor fan.
Yeah.
Even without the ducting issue,
Yeah.
I would still be encouraging you
So
to use
we
it.
could just get those installed and just.
Yeah, you can look them up.
Yeah.
I mean, Ventaxia, I think, do one. Screwfix supply it. But there are plenty of others on the market
Okay.
that are good.
Yeah.
also to
Yeah.
video. Another thing to know is with carpets in humid conditions, you have a high risk of dust mites, and dust mites cause allergies or can cause allergies. They're the thing that causes the allergies that people associate with mold primarily, and unless you have a very specific allergy to a certain type of mold. But in a vast majority, 90, one of my clients was a doctor consultant, pediatrician, who was specifically involved in this area, and he confirmed it. But anyway, almost all comes from dust mites, and if you have carpets, you have to just constantly, well, keep the vapor down and just constantly vacuum.
Yeah, I don't think they've been vacuumed
And yeah,
hardly at all.
and particularly around the edges, because they're going to get colder. This is where the dust mites are going to colonize. And
Yeah.
turn bedclothes weekly, and I'm guessing that you're not. Oh, these are yours probably, but
Yeah.
anyway, turn them weekly, and daily turn the sheet, the duvet, and so on. That will reduce the risk, because obviously with a newborn baby, you're going to be thinking about.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these will be gone by the time we move in.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But it's, I mean, it is the same still with floorboards, but less likely. You're still going to get dust mites on the sheets, and
Yeah.
unless you keep the humidity down.
Okay. No one having been here, and then just
Well,
extra
that's
bad
because you got no trickle vents, so you got no real ventilation
I
down
think there's
there.
like one on there. Is that right? Or
Okay.
but I mean, it seems. Is that a trickle vent?
That is, but it's blocked up. It's a long way between, so it's from there to the outside, so it's not going to be particularly effective. You can feel some heat loss, but whether you're getting much airflow, it's difficult to know.
Yeah.
So I barely count that as a trickle vent.
Yeah.
It's actually better. I mean, you probably won't want to do it with your child, but it's better to have a security thing here,
Yeah.
and just open it very slightly,
Yeah.
than use trickle vents. The other thing with trickle vents, block up very easily, so spiders and dust and so on. So I wouldn't rely on trickle vents.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you very much. Please like and subscribe, comment, send it through to your friends. Tell your loved ones, tell your parents, tell your sons, tell your daughters, tell your sisters and brothers. It's easy to solve problems. Just go to damp.ai and damp.ai/detect if you have data loggers, which are very inexpensive and can be bought for about £17 for 3, I think it is, something like that. Anyway, thank you, like and subscribe.